Hey everyone, it's me, Pigeon Wishes, your resident Pigeon Fae from the UK. And we're back to doing Methods, the detective competition. We're back! It feels like it's been a while. Hi Mona, hi Sports. No, I'm not related. None of my siblings do anything to do with streaming. All my siblings are more well-rounded than me. Hi Hydra, thank you for redeeming. I will have a sippy now. I have a cup of tea. I have a cup of tea and you will like it. I'm joking, I do have water. Yes, I have to do the like very British little hold my pinky up when I drink my tea. This is mandatory. As everyone knows. As everyone knows. God. I missed streaming yesterday. Hi Mort. Yeah, so yesterday what happened, because we didn't stream yesterday, that wasn't planned. That wasn't intentional. I meant to stream yesterday. My family all went up to Liverpool to go shopping, and so I had to watch the dog. And they didn't get back until like 10 o'clock at night, which was already stream time, past stream time. So it was kind of like a case of no stream yesterday purely because I had to watch Gus all day. And by watch Gus all day, I mean I had to sleep on the sofa with the dog all day. It's fine to take the occasional day off. Because I work 7 days a week. Other than Friday. Friday's kind of my only day off. But, we're back to it. We're back to game. We're back to a good game. I'm just gonna remember what voices I gave everyone. What did we do last time? Last time we got on the train. Yeah, so work is, well, when I say I work 7 days a week, I'm being hyperbolic a little bit. By that I kind of mean I stream 4 days a week and then work full time too. So like, I class streaming as a job. I don't make enough money from it for it really probably shouldn't count as a job because I don't get paid. But I count streaming as like a hobby job along with art, where it's like a job but also a hobby. So I do that 4 days a week. And then on the weekends I do my main job, the one that actually makes money. Monday is fun time, but it is still work. Like, I know D&D is really, really fun, but I do put a lot of effort into my D&D performance, actually. Monday is very fun though. This Monday was fucking excellent. People got to see the conclusion of a bit I've been doing for a while now. The conclusion of the they've been married this whole time bit was fun. That was really fun for me, actually, dropping hints to that the whole time. Over the past couple sessions. Honestly, if you guys liked that bit, anyone who watched the D&D stream, you are going to fucking love the next campaign. 'Cause my next character has not the same bit. There's not a she's secretly married bit, but there is some like bits that are going to be an ongoing thing until people realize that they're a thing. I fucking love being a sneaky little guy. I love being a sneaky little guy in real life and coming up with fun things. Oh yeah, no, I didn't. This was like easy mode. This was to prepare you for the next character, where the ongoing bits are harder to decipher. But the wedding ring thing is really cute. I also kind of just wanted to do some fanfiction bullshit. Because we know me, and we know that I love some fanfiction bullshit. We love they've been secretly married this whole time bit. We love that for me. I'm glad, Maud. I'm glad that you've not missed one. Considering, like, I fucking love the D&D streams. I need to remember to upload a bunch of the VODs. Oh, thank you, Sport. Right, I should get into game. Chapters. We are on the Ashdown files. Oh! I've not looked at this before, actually, I don't think. I don't think I've looked at this before. The Hackett files, 5 chapters. The Nell files, 5 chapters. No, Nell gets 10. No, she gets 15, I'm wrong. Melly gets 5. 10. So now we're moving on to a new character. Okay. This means that we're getting a new main character, I think. That feels like maybe spoilers for myself in the loading up what chapter we were in last time. Okay. What voices? Because these are going to be new characters, so we got to come up with new voices. Do you think this is teak? The train car? No. Plastic wood. Oh. That's a pretty far step from teak. Someday I'll teach you all the different kinds of wood and wood varnishing. I bet you have them all memorized, right? How much of your life has been spent memorizing things? Haven't really bothered to check. But I would approximate most of it. Very accurate. But how's this train going to get all over America? Hi, Sile. Train tracks only go so far. Fun fact, there are over 140,000 miles of train track in the US. That was fun. You're welcome. Little did I realize Rose's question was about to be answered in a different way. Yeah, this is Woe to Pigeon. This character is called Detective Woes. The girl. And woe to me, another 15 new voices to pay for Pigeon to do. And I've got to remember all the voices we've previously done on top of that. I'm not sold on his voice that I'm doing for him, actually. That may adapt. That one I'm pretty happy with. What was that? We're going to die. Oh, sorry about that, detectives. I forgot to tell you, this train doesn't just run on tracks. At the window. Is that a highway? What fuck-ass train are they on? What fuck-ass train have they put them on, actually? This train can... We're going off-road. And by off-road, I mean from train tracks to actual road. There will occasionally be a jolt as the train switches from tracks to roads. I apologize for the inconvenience. The train is outfitted with special wheels that can reconfigure to travel on roads on the fly. Pretty cool, huh? Well, now I've seen it all. Don't say that, Woes. You have much more to see. I wasn't being literal. Excuse me? What's the problem? Nothing. I'm just letting off steam. You're right. You're right, I really should stop taking things so literally.
Yes, that is something you should do.
But there's something you should stop doing, Woes.
What?
Stop bringing up the arson case.
Sure. I mean, I only mentioned it once.
I don't want to talk about that, Woes. Okay, so, am I remembering correctly, last stream, that we found out that these two are married in real life outside of the game? Or is Ashton married to someone else? Because I think I remember them saying Ashdown is married to one of the other detectives in the competition, but they're not partnered with each other. Like, they're partners in real life, but in the competition they're partnered with someone else. I think, but I can't remember if it's Ashdown that's the one that's married, or whether it's Woes. It's one of the two. One of these two is married to and one of the other detectives. And we thought that there's some fucky stuff going on with that, where it's a deliberate choice to help them get further in the competition.
Alright. Want to go get something to eat?
That suits me fine.
Great, let's find the dining car.
I was glad Woes changed the subject. She was always bringing up that stupid arson case. Didn't she know how I felt about it? No, she did know. She was just bringing it up to spite me. But now my thoughts are on food, so all was well. My shoes were sticking to the carpet. Had they bothered to clean it? Typical game master behavior, always short-sheeting the lower-tier detectives. We had gotten to the lamest floor, worked hotel rooms, and now the cheapest train car. The injustice. We walked down the hallway in silence. Me and Woes couldn't seem to hold a conversation, even though we had plenty of time to get used to each other again. Guess because we were so fundamentally different. I enjoyed having a sweet cache of facts to slam on unsuspecting crime scenes. On the other hand, Woes almost seemed to fear knowing too much, and trusted her experiences over knowledge. They say opposites attract, but that ain't true. People only say that because they learned about magnets in kindergarten. Apparently nobody bothered learning about actual human relationships in kindergarten.
Wanna guess who's behind each door? That'd be a fun game.
Too easy.
How so? Oh wait, did you memorize the rankings?
Yes.
Then you can tell me if I get any of them wrong.
Sure. Who's in fourth class with us?
Describe them and I'll remember the names.
Oh,
Are you what would you call it? Text thinker?
I don't know, something like that. I'm not a visual thinker, that's for sure.
Alright, I give up.
So soon?
Yeah, who's behind doors 39 and 40?
Fox and Jillian. They somehow managed to be worse than us at solving mysteries.
Hey.
She punched me in the shoulder.
You're not so bad. Stop beating yourself up so much.
What? Is this some stop hitting yourself taunt?
Not literally, Ashton.
I'll stop beating myself up when you do.
Fair enough.
Ooh, she's pretty. Door 39 opened, but it wasn't Fox or Jillian. It was What's-Her-Face. I didn't talk to What's-Her-Face very much. Now that we were down 40 detectives, maybe I'd actually get to know some of the other people in the contest. Detective What's-Her-Face. Wow, rude. Wrong. She had a smoker's voice, but it was oddly pleasant. Wrong.
Hi, Detective Tronan.
Fox and Jillian swapped with me and Merkel. Jillian couldn't get the window open and she wanted fresh air. Ah, right. Tronan. How could I forget that? Tronan had been at the very bottom of the tiers for much of the competition, but her newly acquired partner, Macalet, helped her rise up. See, if we're talking about memory stuff in chat, my memory stuff, I have really weird. I think I would be an interesting person to study. But like one of those scientists who specifically look at how memory and stuff works. Because I have a really weird memory. Like, I can remember weird facts about stuff, really useless information that's never going to be used for anything really easily. But, like, I can't remember names most of the time. I can remember faces I think I'm a visual thinker. Like what Woe was talking about, where I can picture things incredibly easily. I've got a very vivid imagination. But I really struggle to retain information short term, but I also have fucked up long term memory. Where I have like, my brain will make stuff up that never happened. So occasionally I'll remember something and then I'll need to ask someone, like, did this actually happen? Or did my brain make it up? Because it does that sometimes for me. And it's really weird. I talked to my psychologist when I had one about it, and they couldn't really explain it. But it's like a weird psychological thing that happens with me where my brain makes up false memories for the past. But only like, it's really weird. I remember some things very, very vividly, and then a lot of things not at all. And short-term memory, I'm easily distracted. And my brain, because I also have auditory processing disorder, it can take a while for information to stick. Oh no, so when I do remember something, I remember it really well. Like, I remember the time, the place, who I was with, what the weather was like. I could describe it to you. If I actually remember something, I could describe it to you perfectly. I could probably even draw it when I remember something. The trouble is that I have large gaps in memory. And then when I don't have gaps in the memory, I have memories of things that didn't happen also. So trying to get me to remember things is a fun game for other people to play. Because it's like a, Megan, or Pigeon, do you remember this? And it'll be like, no, I do not in fact remember this, I do not think. But do you remember this? And they're like, that didn't happen. What are you fucking talking about? Pigeon, what are you talking about, in fact, actually, maybe? You're crazy. And I am in fact crazy. So, I can already tell that I'm acting weird today. I'm very hot. I'm very warm. England had its first, like, warm day in like the entire year so far. We've had our first warm day. It got to 29 degrees today, almost 30. And so I'm like boiling. Or not boiling, but I'm like warmer than I have been in a while. And so my brain, I think, is short frying, so I'm gonna have another drink. Yeah, no, also my brain does that too, where it mixes two memories together sometimes. I do that a lot with like celebrities as well. Someone will be like, oh, do you remember this celebrity? But for some reason my brain mixes two celebrities together and it's like, isn't it the person that did this? And they're like, no, that's this person. I do it a lot. I also do the combine two things together in my head. I think it's because my brain categorizes things like a my brain categorizes things together like a library filing system, and sometimes things get mixed up. Hi Bella. Ooh, nice. I hope that it was a good walk. Right, drink done. In spite of her efforts, they were neglected by the recent detective vote in the final round.
Is Tronin your real name?
No. But this is cool, right?
Yeah.
I didn't comment, but it gave my head a slight affirmative shake. See you around. Don't tell her I'm here. I'm not going to her meeting if she asks. She shut the door. What?
There's someone behind me.
It was like a cheesy horror movie.
Detective Ends?
I'm actually a detective inspector, Ends.
You inspect detectives?
I try to disassociate myself from woes by pretending to check the rug for clues. I would tell you that you're wrong, but you're mostly correct. I'm about to have a meeting. Are you going to go?
What is it, a meeting for anemics? On that subject, you need some water or something?
Woes from someone with much tact to speak of. No, I am always this way. It is my method. But enough about me, what are you?
What do you mean? What do you mean? I'm human.
It's a thread. Now, use your method of deduction kind of like a brand. It's a trend now to use your method of deduction kind of like a brand. I'm the empty detective, says, is the narcotics detective, etc.
Oh, in that case, I'm the chaser detective. As in chasing down the criminal. Yes, I investigate weak alcohol. But anyway, let me introduce you to my partner.
You see, Belladonna? I've done that plenty of times. It's really easy here in the UK to accidentally trespass. And it's mostly fine. Most people don't give that much of a shit if you accidentally trespass, as if they see you and you, as long as you explain, oh shit, I didn't realise you didn't have any signage to let me know that I was entering, or a fence or anything. Most people don't give a shit. And some people are fine, as long as you don't, like, do anything on the private property. But, like, yeah, it's super easy in the UK to accidentally trespass on private property. Really fucking easy, when you're, especially when you're going into the woods. Because there's a bunch of people who live, like, in the woods or adjacent to the woods who own a little bit of the woodland. I think as long as you don't fuck with anything. But I'm like that when you go walking anyway. I'm a very much leave everything where it is. If you see something cool, leave it so other people can see the cool thing. Because if you take it with you, then other people can't see the cool thing and you've made the world a bit of a sadder place. That's my hot take. Leave things as you find them. I'm a very leave the things as you find them kind of person. Unless you're doing geocaches, because then sometimes geocaching, you're supposed to take it with you to put somewhere else. That's different though. I miss doing geocaching. I should see if when I get time off I can do some like geocaching in my town. Oh no, yeah, Belladonna, that's fine. Taking the stuff that people have left, fine. And also, I hate to say it, but unless it's like private property, and unless it's a cultural ground, you are morally obligated to knock down those stone towers that people like to make. A hot take, very unpopular take on my part, but like, you know when the people stack those rocks up and then leave them in the middle of the woods? I think you're morally obligated to knock that shit down, unless it's in a cultural site and they're part of the cultural site. Because there are some that are part of a cultural site and then you shouldn't touch it, because they're supposed to be there. Or on private property, because that's someone's private property. And while private property is inherently theft, it's also like a weird moral ground where I don't think you should touch things that do belong to other people. So yeah, I'm glad that people are agreeing with me in chat that you should knock those stone towers down, because they're actually really bad for animals and insects and stuff. People don't think that, because it's just like a little stack of rocks, people don't think about that they're going to be harmful to the environment, but they actually are, because they take away habitat for certain types of insect and stuff. And even things like snakes and stuff, rocks, when they're stacked like that, they can't be used as dens or as hiding places for certain animals anymore. I love animals and nature, so I'm very passionate about this sort of thing. I bet nobody could tell. I bet nobody could tell that I really like animals, as if I don't say this fucking constantly. I'm a nerd, but I enjoy it. Right, back to game.
Ashdown's the
Trivial detective.
Yeah, he's pretty trivial.
She'd made that joke 50 times already. That's funny. She wasn't laughing. She started walking down the hall, taking small faltering steps.
Where's the meeting?
The dining car. It'll all be all the fourth class detectives. Except Ronan, I cannot find her anywhere. She feebly clutched at the wall for a moment, then righted herself and managed another shaky step.
Hey, pick up the pace, girl.
Just go there. I'll get there in my own time. Sounds good to me. Let's go, woes. We got to the dining car fairly quickly after that. There were 2 booths to sit at. Apparently you were forced to sit with other people while you ate. We slid into the booth awkwardly, all while being watched by everyone else in the car. Rose turned to a waiter. It was the same person who'd greeted us when we first entered the contest. The original what's-her-face.
I'd like the 77 surprise. What are you having, Ashdown?
She always decided so quickly. I looked at the ridiculous menu options. Sis salad?
I'm sorry.
She didn't look sorry.
I didn't hear you. He's having the Cess salad.
Sigh.
I thought Cess didn't place last round.
I think it's just celebrity detectives. Norman's on there, and he's in 4th class with us.
But seriously, what's in the Cess salad? Drugs?
It actually does have a nondescript powder listed among the ingredients. I stopped talking. The other texts in the booth were making me uncomfortable with how silent they were. Rose cleared her throat.
Are you all here for the meeting?
Yeah. We're just waiting for N's, right? The sound of N's footsteps came from beyond the dining car door. Any second now. Any second. Finally, the door opened. Does everyone need instructions?
Raptor and Ends. Mackle, Jillian, Fox.
Pointing's rude. For some reason, even though he had said it quietly, it felt like everyone at the table heard him. It seems Rose already knows everyone. Okay, I call this meeting to order. Well, it's interesting seeing the 4th place detectives. Well, the class 4 detectives, actually. It's a better explanation, isn't it? It's interesting seeing what the bottom tier ones are up to at the moment. Because we've been following the top tier for a while. Chapter 32. The Red Line. Detectives Ashdown and Woes have stumbled across a meeting of 4th class detectives organised by Detective Ends. Why are we here? Did you want to strike a deal with us? No, I am here to warn you. The second detective is Evereve. Ens looked annoyed. What are you here to warn us about?
Something all of us have feared since we ended up in the bottom tier. The edge of the world. Of our world.
The red line.
Yes.
She took a sip of Meckle's drink.
Hey.
The red line is in the bottom tier. It is a term that refers to the rank and ranks below it that will, no matter what, lose in a particular stage. As long as you know what rank the red line is, you can aim to get above it. Last round was rank 20, right?
Yes.
The Game Master will tell you what it is if you ask.
So, what's the red line this time?
Rank 20. Remember? The Game Master told us no eliminations this stage. Well, optimistic to believe the Game Master. He's probably lying. Don't dismiss optimism. After all, in spite of everything, you are an optimist at heart as well. In spite of everything, you think I had some sort of horrible experience? Everyone here has. That is how I know that you are all good detectives. You don't deserve to be here at the bottom. That is why we are going to shoot for the top.
The top tier? Wait, how?
We have a few options. I can think of 4, and all of them involve me. One of his teeth fell out. He popped it back in quickly. I tried not to visibly retch. Shall I lay the options out for you? She tried to pour more water into Mackle's glass, but it spilled all over the table. The waiter ran over and wiped up the mess.
Your orders are coming shortly. But the mouse burgers will take more time to cook before they're ready. Who ordered mouse burgers? I never want to hear those 2 words in that order again.
Do you want me to bring out the other food when they're all equally done, or one at a time as the chef finishes them? Option 1. By the way, do you have a map of the train on hand?
Yeah, one moment. Did you get how she said when option 1, she simultaneously addressed the waiter and us, and is now showing us option 1. It's something only someone paying attention would get. Someone who followed the teachings of Detective Greats like Sherlock Holmes. Here we go. Sherlock Holmes practically preaches observation. It's important to observe and consider everything and everyone. To always second guess yourself and your judgments. At least that's what he would say if his methods were converted into lecture. Oh right. Gillian was the Holmes detective, or at least that's what she called herself. Everyone else called her the fangirl detective. Me, for real, for real. I get you, girl. I get you. If no one else gets you, I get you. She'd been switching partners like crazy the entire competition, almost as much as Detective Genta. Her methods were lifted right from Arthur Conan Doyle's books, but something must have been lost in translation to practical application because she hadn't solved one clue since she arrived. This whole contest is a bit of red-headed league. Who's to say we're not here to waste time while some criminals are on the loose? Shut up, Jillian. As I was trying to say, this round we must move at least to 3rd class. That will be ahead of the red line. Elaborate.
Elaborate. How will we do that? The best option is option 1, using each other's strengths against each other's weaknesses. The waiter suddenly arrived with the map and the food. Yeah, that girly pop probably has a fucking poster of Sherlock Holmes and like a body pillow. I wouldn't be surprised. She seems the type. Ens took the map and pointed to the diagram of the train's upper classes. The first thing to understand is that the rankings will change drastically after this stage. There will only be 3 stages left. This is our best chance to climb the rankings. If we want to stop the top 3 from being radicalized snakes and heck all contest. Heck? Who the heck is that? Sounded like a first name, and I didn't know any of the detectives' first names, except for myself and Rose, of course.
Heck, it's our little nickname for Detective 781. Why?
She was appropriately munching her 7-7 surprise at that very moment.
We call him Heck because he's one heck of a detective. Nobody can be bothered to remember all those numbers.
Anyway, top tier is going to change. The key to getting into it, once popularity out of the picture, is time. We need to be as efficient as we can, so who can tell me which third class or higher detectives they know they can realistically beat? I have a good chance of beating Detective White. Most of us do. His method relies on chance. Detective Wright is ranked 10th currently. It's a bit of a stretch, but maybe you could do it.
I can easily beat Detectives Nell and Day. Nell's a little more of a B-list celebrity. She was Heck's partner, which put her in the consciousness of the public. But how great is her method actually?
Nell's in 9th place.
Heck's going down. He's nothing more than gimmicky shell. He brought and paid for it by Big Circus. A pale imitation of the quirks of the great amazing Sherlock Holmes.
You can't take on Heck, Julian. Well, I agree with what you said about him, but as falsely as eccentric as he is, he comes in at the top consistently. And slapped her Nell needles and sighed. Do you see the problem with yourselves? You're thinking inside a box that doesn't exist. Last stage, Slex and Heck teamed up to solve a mystery together at the same time in the same room. We found out that is considered cheating. However, the Game Master...
Yeah, okay.
Didn't sound like she actually cared. Yes, I am. The Game Master didn't expel them from the contest. Now, we assume this was because the Game Master didn't want to eliminate the top-performing detectives. And we were probably right. But in this stage, there are no eliminations for anybody. Why not bend the rules a little? What do we have to lose?
Oh, what are we gonna do?
I think Raptor has the answer for you. Raptor grinned and pulled his tooth out of his mouth. Raptor's like Inspector Gadget, except not fictional. He sold bits of his body on the black market in exchange for mechanical replacements. Okay. My teeth are communication devices. I have enough for everyone to use. You can use them to help each other out, just like Slex did when he paired it with Heckin' now. Sounds good. Raptor tossed her a tooth. Sounds poorly premeditated. I didn't want to stick a tooth in my ear.
Ashtown, we've been struggling the entire contest. Don't you want to finally rise up the ranking?
Sure, but this seems doomed to fail. How do you know nobody will find the tooth?
Me and Ince kicked up the scheme inside Shoe right after the Slikes and Eck incident. Practiced it with Chalk and Olish, a detective pair that was recently eliminated, probably because they lost their creativity to solve the crimes after we'd been giving them the answer sheets. But for you guys, it should work. Nobody suspected. It's worth a shot. They can't kick us out, right?
That's the spirit. He tossed another tooth. I threw it at Woe. She caught it awkwardly. I rubbed my hands thoroughly with my napkin. Tell Trennan and planning when you get back to your compartment, Mackle. Remember, the Game Master placed bugs in our rooms to use sandwich code since I won't be there to protect you with my ears. Your ears are bug frequency disruptors. You guessed it.
Sandwich code is boring. Me and Trennan taught ourselves sign language.
And use that. Until then. This meeting is adjourned. About Detective Norman and Detective Russell. They're also in 4th class. Do they get teeth as well? Detective Norman is on his own.
Nobody likes him.
Why would they? He hates people. Still. I never met Norman personally, so I didn't have any basis for feeling sorry for him, but I'd also never heard any evidence that he was somebody to be hated. If it makes you feel any better, he's option 2. Shifting roles. Okay, so they saw how the people at the top got away with cheating so that Red July didn't get kicked out. And now they're all planning to cheat. This is not going to go terribly wrong at all. I totally can't see them kicking all of them out. Also, I don't want Nell to go. Nell's one of my favourite characters in this so far. And I also think mice would probably taste okay. Capybara is a pretty common food in, like, the Amazon basin and also in certain other parts of the world. And they're also rodent. So if capybara is apparently good enough for a lot of people to eat, I imagine mice also would be, but they're not worth it because of the amount of meat you're getting per mouse isn't really worth it. I don't think that they would be worth it. I imagine they wouldn't be terrible because people do eat rodent. Because rabbit as well. Rabbit is eaten quite commonly, and rabbit's actually quite tasty. But I don't know. I don't think mouse and rat are particularly worth it because of the amount of meat you're getting per animal. You'd have to get a lot more of them in order to like make the same amount of a meal. And also they're intelligent animals, so I'm kind of iffy about it on that case as well. The fact that mice and rats are like very intelligent would freak me out. Because pig kind of freaks me out as well. A little bit. Not as much because they're not quite as smart, but still, certain animals, I'm like, they're too smart. That kind of would freak me out a bit. Chapter 33, Shifting Rules. Detective Ainz is planning to help the lower tier detectives cheat their way to the top. But Detective Ashton has second thoughts about how this will affect the detective competition. I wish I had this for other stages. We're heading back to our compartment with a take-out bag of Nell noodles. Why is cheating using other detectives' deductions any different from relying on my deductions? How do you know they're telling the truth? Truth, the truth, the truth, the truth, repeated higher in tinnier version of my voice. See, the truth works. I know the truth works, but I wonder if they were lying about testing out this scheme. They know the Game Master has cameras, right? Maybe they're trying to trap us and get us kicked out of the contest.
Maybe they don't have time to pre-install cameras. Setting up their hotel must have been very difficult.
The Game Master has the money and time to buy and convert an apartment building, a hotel, and a train. Do you really think a few cameras are going to stop him? Silence. Boys like to think her answers to my questions. Often when she reached a conclusion, she wouldn't bother to share it, creating a painful stagnation in conversation. It's worth thinking about.
Heaven sakes, didn't get kicked out and they cheated.
Again, there was a long pause.
Here we are, do-do-do-do-do.
She found her door. There should be a law about singing detectives. As in, one that bans them. Words opened the door to the compartment. There was a note on her bed from the Game Master that simply read Kentucky.
Guess we'll be in Kentucky.
Ooh! Surprise sneeze! Oh no! Oof!
The Game Master's a very mysterious individual, isn't he?
You need to say that. Everyone knows it. It's redundant.
Sometimes I like to say redundant stuff. Redundant stuff, redundant stuff, redundant stuff.
You mean the same things in similar context.
Ashton, you're being pedantic again. Remember our conversation?
Woes is very silly. I like Woes. She's cool. Tall lady. Tall lady, she's cool. No anality.
Yes, no anality.
I really wanted to tell her that it was redundant to say that, but then I myself would be saying something redundant. What a conundrum. Anyway, you're sure cheating is a good way to get through the contest? I snatched the tooth and examined it. Fun fact, most adults have 28 teeth. After that, their wisdom teeth are removed.
Fun.
You know, I think there's probably a good enough raise in the rankings without any morally questionable shenanigans.
Sometimes morals have to be re-examined to carry out justice. Like how I threw tracks on the road during the high-speed chase I was in once. It probably popped a lot of innocent people's tires, but I caught the criminal.
Still shouldn't the point be to try to keep the criminal from winning the contest. If the detective who gets the last stage cheated, then it might not be good enough to defeat the criminal.
Listen, there are many reasons to being in this contest. Not everyone's here to win, you know.
I know, I'm one of them. But I understand that cheating will just mess up the rankings. Some more deserving might be eliminated thanks to us.
Some people can't solve crimes the way you can, Ashdown. We need to cheat to help those people out. We're all in the bottom tier. Why? Because we're bad at this. Don't you want to see what happens in stage 4?
Woes tried to grab the teeth from me. I held it up over my head. Don't make me smash this, Woes. You know I'm right. You just aren't admitting it. Let's go tell Enns we don't want to be part of her plan.
No.
I drubbed the tooth, but before I could stomp on it, the train jolted. I slammed my head into the wall. Ow.
Ashdown, if it means that much to you, let's just try to be the first ones in the crime scene and set up for everyone else. That way, we won't be the ones cheating. They will.
Fine.
Good. Thank you. I'm picking up the tooth now.
Fun fact, head concussions are a leading cause of brain damage, so I think I should get this checked out.
You're probably fine. Who knows, maybe you're even smarter now.
I'm not sure there's even a place I could go on this train that I could get looked at.
Yeah, seems like an oversight. Hey, did that jolt mean we arrived?
Maybe. Let's go take a look. So yeah, I agree. Ashdown would be a trust fund baby, but I've already used my trust fund baby voice on someone else. Like, that's the trouble with being introduced to new characters every fucking chapter, is that I've already used my trust fund baby voice on someone else, so he can't have the trust fund baby voice, he's gotta go with the one I haven't used yet. Maybe if more characters get introduced, we'll loop back around and I'll be able to use some of the voices I used before. But right now, we're stuck. The signs of a commotion can be heard in the distance. After passing through the sleeper cars and the dining car, we reached the lounge. A line of fourth-class detectives had formed, and me gave Ainz gave me and Woes a wobbly affirmative nod.
Were you in Kentucky already?
No, just a pit stop. Didn't they confiscate your phone when you arrived in stage 1? They can't. If they can't find it, they can't confiscate it.
Isn't this a good time to try and recruit Norman and Russell?
Already told you we're not doing that. Trust me, he'd hate our idea.
I guess a pit stop was only for the Game Master.
What if the doors just opened?
I would look around. Maybe try to find a restaurant. Now noodles and great and all, but I need my diet to have variety.
That's stupid. You wouldn't try and find the Game Master. In the end, the curiosity around the Game Master is pointless. Even if you find him, what's there to talk about? It's a contest. He's the host. What's there to solve? The secrecy irks me. I don't like how he lies to us all the time. He purposely leaves out rules and is planning to let a criminal loose if we don't win. Ashdown, do you think this is a game? Yes. It isn't. Oh, enlighten me. The Game Master may be a dangerous psycho for all we know. In fact, most of the evidence points to it. It is our duty as detectives to find him and press answers and possibly charges at him. You know about this detective organization, TADS, by now, knowing things like you do, right? Yes, I've been deduced a few of the members. Did you deduce me? I stared at her for a moment before I realized what she was implying. Took me longer to figure out than I'd like to admit. You remember TADS? My entire cheating plan was constructed to help get closer to the Game Master. See, this Game Master has a bias towards the higher profile detectives in the contest. It is important for us to be in first class. And here I thought it was a selfish, petty reason. Still is. And probably wants to meet the Game Master so he can tell her what a great detective she is. I'm just here to win the money, so not in TADS, don't care.
Okay, I bet the Game Master's in that. But how does getting in the top tier help us find him?
Yeah, that's what's funny. They're all trying to find the Game Master. We've seen the Game Master. It's 5 people. It's 4 fucking nerds. A girl with sleep deprivation, or a girl with like fucking narcolepsy, basically, and a fucking man that dresses like he's a fucking word search. Like, the Game Master is 4 nerds and a man that dresses like a word search. I'm like, I'm not entirely sure that, like, you need to be worrying about this like this. Although, we don't know why the competition is running, because we do know there is a reason that they've not revealed yet. Like, something is happening in the outside world where they need to find the great detectives. I don't know if the rumor floated down to you like it did to me, but apparently in stage 1, Hector to visit the Game Master's office by climbing the side of the apartment complex. If we did something like that, we'd get a kick out of the contest. But if we're at the top... Or you could just look out the window. Looking out through the window, I could only see the highway. What am I supposed to be seeing?
Do you know what my method is? Let me guess, you use fashion to fight crime?
She was, sadly, dead serious. You're the objective detective. Figured you'd know. It's a pun. I'm good with evidence. Objects. I know a lot about different types of objects, like brands, functions, and stuff. That's how I hid my phone. It's the world's only completely plastic smartphone. You can't set off a metal detector with this. What do you see outside? The van. You're good with facts, surely you'll get it. I looked again. There's a plain white van outside parked near the highway. I don't like cars, so I don't collect facts about them. Fine. The van is clearly the Game Master's. Really? Think about how the Game Master has been playing for all these stupid stuff and food.
Volunteers? He's super rich.
Even a billionaire wouldn't completely self-fund this contest. Do you know any billionaires, Michael? Shut up. See, I think this competition is sponsored. Everything's made in-house, as you may have noticed, down to the paint dummies and the name hashtags. But not the cameras. They're called Violet Security cameras. I know them anywhere. Do you know how many of those things this contest has? Over 50, easily. And all of them have been Violets. No other brand names can be found in the entire contest. Therefore, Violet is a sponsor of the contest. What does that have to do with the van? Violet Security doesn't just make cameras. It's an all-in-one security outlet with fencing, burglar alarms, hired staff, and bulletproof vans. Van follows the train. What, this whole time? If that's true, I will have to find a way to investigate the van. That isn't likely, not at least during stops like this. Maybe then we'll get to the mystery location.
Fox, your salad is ready.
Fox left with an expression of despair. Moose peered through the window.
So the Game Master's in there?
Yeah, that's what I've been reiterating for the past minute. Anyway, the van's window is tinted so we can't see. I turned back to Enns with a question in my eyes. You want to track down the Game Master and possibly arrest him. Why not just quit the contest and use your skills as a detective to shut this operation down? Did you ever hear of the previous detective contests before you were invited to this one? No. But you're implying it would be hard to track down a huge train of detectives struggling across America? Seems easy to me. You don't know about the other contests, because the Game Master successfully hit them. Besides, if I tried to quit the contest, would I really be kicked out? So, do detectives who leave really leave, or does the Game Master secretly kidnap them until the competition is over? Guess there's no way to know that. Finding out would be an unpleasant experience.
I'll say. Ashdown, can we go back to our rooms? Norman's creeping me out.
How so?
He grinned at me, then hid his face in his hands like he was playing peekaboo or something.
You're serious?
Yes.
What a giftball. I don't mind going back. It's not like they're gonna let us out for a Game Master meet and greet anyway. Talk to you later. She concentrated on the van with a ferocious intensity, perhaps trying to pierce the metal with her X-ray vision. As me and Rose walked back to our compartment, the train jolted again. Wish there was a warning for that. Anyway, is there any reason you wanted to leave the lounge?
Yes, you know me so well, Ashdown.
Way too well.
I want to ask you in private if you're still afraid of cheating now that you know Enns' motives.
I was never afraid of cheating. Just doesn't sit well with me.
But does this cheating sit well? It's for a good reason.
I opened my mouth to respond, but was interrupted by the usual Game Master jingle. I'm sorry that we had to stop. We got lost.
Huh?
Obviously means his van couldn't keep up with the train.
In fact, the Game Master is a terrible driver.
Don't copy my shtick, find your own. But now we'll soon be arriving in, you guessed it, Kentucky. When you think of America, you think Kentucky. That's why we'll be going to Kentucky.
I usually think of Washington, D.C.
I usually think of the Statue of Liberty. We'll soon be arriving. The first scene will be the first to solve the mystery. Please form a line when you step out of the train car. That'll be all. The Game Master was right. We arrived around 15 minutes later. Fortunately, we had to walk all the way back to the lounge car to exit the train. Just before we could get out of the tooth buzzed. What? What's happening? Is it going to explode? Am I going to die?
Ashdown.
Mako's voice was coming through the tooth. Yes?
Norman got to the crime scene first, and I think he must have overheard us because the water person just took Enns' tooth.
Uh-oh.
Down onto the plan, crush the tooth. We'll have to go with option 2.
Great. Just when I fully gotten on board with Enns' plan to cheat. We are probably going to fail hard at the mystery now. Like Rose had said, we were pretty bad detectives. Okay. This is interesting, seeing it from this other perspective. Chapter 34. Not the unexpected. First round of stage 3 in the mysterious detective competition begins. But Enns' plan for getting into first class is in jeopardy. Thanks to Detective Norman. We stepped out of the train car into the lovely Kentucky air. A cathedral was right near the train. No detectives were waiting to get inside. We caught up with Meckel, making sure not to cut the line, of course.
So what is option 2?
You sure Norman was the one who ratted us out? Yeah, it's Norman. First of all, there's no reason for him to keep a secret from us. And second, his motto is bring everyone else down and you rise to the top. You know him? Former partner in the contest. It's taken 5 rounds to get the taste of battle in my mouth after seeing his method. I don't think it's that bad, actually. That is because you're looking at it scientifically.
What's our goal here? Enns, I thought you said option 2 was speaking to Norman, but he ruined option 1.
Yes, Norman is now a last resort. It was my mistake to think I could rely on him. I will try to think of something else. Quickly, before the round starts. Who knows? We may not have to cheat after all. Nah, we definitely have to cheat. Yes, cheating is necessary.
You know how bad we are, Ashdown.
True. I was outnumbered. Even though we all want to cheat to rise in the ranking. It seems to me that we all have different goals. Melkle, you just want money. And you want to talk to the Game Master. Well, you just seem to be here to have fun.
Yep, that's all.
I'm here to gather facts about the criminals we've been facing. Really? Why? The detectives aren't the only ones here with reputations. Some of the most despicable and deadly murderers, assassins, and thieves are lurking behind the scenes. Didn't you see the suspects file they gave us after stage 2? Killer Soul, Garden. None of those names are their real names. I've been working with on who's really who in the contest. That's nice. She hadn't been paying attention to me. After all, this stumbling around in the dark with our goals twisted up and around us, stripping us and distracting us. I've realized that it is too early to cheat. Let's wait until after this round and when the time-based rankings reorder everything. Sounds good. I agree.
Well, Ashdown says.
What is Woe's actual goal? Because she was just kind of like, yeah, whatever you say. Sure, I'm just here to have fun. Which means that probably isn't her goal, right? Her goal is probably something else if she's being so nonchalant about him saying that her goal is just to have fun. It makes me think that her goal isn't, that she's got something she's trying to do and she just hasn't told anyone. Right? That's what I'm getting here, is that actually she has a plan. Are we going to die? No, it just means it's time for the nice detective pair to enter the cathedral. Ooh, that is a fun fact, Maud. You can make a simple battery out of Australian coins, stack $1 bill, or stack a $1 and then 10-cent coins with salt water soaked in paper between each one, tape it up. Battery. That is a fun fact. Did you know that you could also probably make a battery that for a phone like what she's talking about without setting the metal detector off if you made the battery out of potato? Because potato is capable of carrying an electrical charge and storing an electrical charge and possibly even generating a little bit through photosynthesis. So if you used a photosynthesizing battery, that would eliminate at least one type of metal that would get noticed by the metal detector. And I think if you could find a way to get rid of the zinc and copper used for the wiring, you probably could. Belladonna, that's also true. You could also get a battery by popping to Tesco. This is also a fact. You could just go to Tesco and get an actual battery. Norman and his partner Russell walked out the door. From where I was in line, I couldn't see them very well, but when Norman grinned, he pointed to his teeth. I knew the message he was delivering. We stood in line for 30 more minutes, during which many more detectives arrived behind us. At least a bell tolled for me and Woes, and we stepped inside the cathedral. It was even more imposing and spectacularly decorated inside than out. The sunlight streamed through the stained glass and lent the air itself a sparkle of... Are you zoning out for Ash?
Let's solve the case. Let's solve the case.
Right. Hello. Bit of an echo in here. Welcome to stage 3. The red herrings. This time we'll be asking you to identify which clues are red herrings. A red herring is a false lead, a dead end. Fun fact, I knew that already. This time there will be no eliminations. Even if you submit a wrong answer, we won't kick you out the contest. So just relax and have fun. Or don't. This is a great time to try and rise in the ranking. As always, we'll be timing you. This mystery is called Solution for the Abdulation. Here is the case file. Priest Prey was found dead near the baptismal font at 5:40 AM. Priest Bell was found near the cathedral and was arrested. You do not have access to the autopsy report. Why was Priest Bell where he was when he killed Priest Prayer? The timer starts now. Time to get all the facts and mystery straight.
Why do you always say that?
You're only asking me that now?
Yes.
I would have answered it before, but not today. There's no time.
Alright.
We always spent way too much time talking. This is why we're in 4th class. Blue dummy, which means...
Poisoned.
Right. Poison dummies should be green, not blue. Doesn't that make more sense?
I'm not sure. Could be any colour they wanted.
Yes, but green. Anyway, whatever. This is Priest Prey, right?
It sure seems like it.
He's grinning as well, which is something to think about.
What's this thing called again?
Excellent. Now proceed to impress your woes using my method. Cold hard facts. The urge to bang on my desk when I said cold hard facts was really strong there. I need you all to be thankful that I restrained myself so that you didn't have to hear a loud banging noise in your ears because my mic is on the table I was about to slap. Fun fact, the baptismal font is an octagonal basin that holds water used for baptisms.
Ah, so this is what it is. A baptismal font.
Yeah, to be fair, Belladonna, based on the facts that he had there as options, I probably am smarter than him. Because those options were not super interesting facts about religion. He could have had more interesting facts about baptismal fonts and stuff. There are quite a few. Like, did you know that holy water cannot be diluted? So if you add a drop of holy water to any other water source, that water source all becomes holy water. Although I think the Vatican did say this does not work with running water, so you could not turn a river into holy water. But that is how baptismal fonts are done. They take a drop of holy water and drop it into the baptismal font, and that's what makes it able to purify your soul when you're, like, dunked. Because they believe that holy water cannot be diluted. So you could technically buy a bottle of holy water. Yeah, a lake. You could probably holy waterify a lake. Based on the rules that they set forth, as long as it wasn't a lake that leads to an estuary or anything, so as long as it's a self-contained lake that has no rivers going in and out of it, I think you could turn a lake into holy water. Because there's no limit. They didn't set a limit. And I know that it was a scam, or it is a scam, in certain Latin American countries, where someone will buy a bottle of holy water from the Vatican, bring it home, and then do like a drop of it in a bunch of other containers and then sell it, because they've basically 10 times the amount of holy water in this by doing that. Meaning, and because the Latin American countries are so religious, it's like a big thing over there, is the fact that you can't dilute holy water, so you can sell holy water by just taking a drop of it and making a bunch more holy water. That's my fun religion fact. Every time he comes up with a fun fact, I'm gonna try and one-up him, because I'm that bitch. Yeah, a well would not work. You cannot work on a well because a well has a water source going to it and from it. A swimming pool, however, would work. You could do a swimming pool. I think you could also do, you know, those mining pits where they fill them with water and you're not allowed to swim in them because it's actually really dangerous and there's a lot of riptides and stuff that will drag you under. Those I think you could turn into holy water. I don't know if holy water has a time limit either. I think as long as it's a small bottle, they don't consider it having a time limit. But I think if you had a big body of water, like a swimming pool or one of those like mining pits that have been filled, I think that the Vatican would decide that after a certain amount of time, the holy water is evaporated out into the air. And so it is no longer holy water, because it has been replaced via osmosis. That would be my guess as to what the Vatican would say about that, as a non-religious person. Well, no, that's why I'm like, they don't believe that the holiness isn't the thing that's leaving. It's that the water that was holy originally is no longer part of that water. And therefore, that's what I think that they would say. Although I am not a priest, so I cannot give you an answer to this theoretical question that I have come up with myself. I feel like that would be interesting to ask a priest, though, what they think the answer to that is. Because I think that they would say, if you go for the water cycle, would probably be the reason that it only stays holy water for a certain amount of time. Because the holy water technically evaporates out back into the cosmos, only to rain back down later. But then if that works like that, does that not mean that all water is holy water? Right? Because surely that means all water is holy water, because of osmosis. All water is all mixed up together in the clouds, and then is rained back down again into all of the other bodies of water. So technically, all water is holy water. Yeah, and there is also the argument that holy water in itself is bullshit because God created all water. So all water is already holy water because God created it. And because it's a closed system and we can't lose water, it will just become undrinkable, albeit at a different point in the water cycle, then technically all water was created by God and therefore all water is holy water. They should put me in a room with a priest so that I can argue with them about semantics like this. I think that would be interesting. I think that would be interesting. Put me in a room with someone from the Vatican and watch me ask them bullshit questions that they don't have the answer for. Let me ask someone from the Vatican bullshit questions that nobody wants the answer for, except for me. Because I think it would be very funny. I think it'd be very funny to just put me in a room with someone from the Vatican. Let me be a feral gremlin. Chat would let me be a feral gremlin. The government should let me be a feral gremlin. I think I should get paid to do that. I think that... What's that YouTube channel? The one that does the, like, one LGBT person versus a room of Republicans. I'm trying to remember what the channel is. They should get me to do one of them, except for it's one pigeon versus an entire room of Vatican staff. How long will they last before I ask them a question they can't answer? I think I could find one. I think I could find an answer, a question they wouldn't have an answer for. Okay, back to game. Back to game and stop theorizing on biblical stuff. No, because you couldn't do that with a Satanist and me. Because I agree with too many things with Satanists. Like, Satanism isn't really like a religion I know a lot about, except for the fact that I know if you're actually a Satanist. This is different from the Church of Satan. The Church of Satan and Satanists are two different things. They're like different religions. But like, me and Satanists agree on a lot of stuff, so there's like some... I don't know how interesting that would be, but me versus someone from the Vatican, I think that could be pretty interesting, actually. Because I wouldn't be rude about it either. I'd be pretty good on one of those shows. Because I'm not like a rude person. So you wouldn't have to worry about me like deliberately trying to piss them off or offend them. I think I could just come up with questions that they wouldn't have answers for.
Do you think I should use their baptismal font in my resume?
It's not typeface woes. It is still a good show name. I will give you that. A priest, a pigeon, and a Satanist is a pretty good show name. It's time for a brilliant analysis. We've got Poison Dummy in front of a baptismal font. I think I know what the Game Master wants us to make of this.
Oh, what's that?
It's... I thought blue just meant suffocation, though. They've got it wrong, haven't they? The water in the baptismal font was poisoned. Imagine this. The killer poisons the font. Then he sneaks up on Priest Prey and forces his head on the water. Priest Prey swallows some by accident, poisoning him.
It's neat and tidy. What a great deduction, Ashdown.
Thank you, it came out of my own brain. It's mystery as easy as pie. It's time to submit this deduction. What do you think?
I mean, it could be that this is another solution. What if we got all this wrong?
Well, why would it be wrong? You know, it makes sense.
If it was this simple, it wouldn't be much of a mystery. Besides, what's the point of poisoning the font when you could have just poisoned the priest some other way?
Will's had a point, dang it. Actually, Will's, that gives me an idea. There was something that caught my eye earlier when we were investigating. Maybe it's a clue.
Can't hurt to take a look.
This kind of sticks out, doesn't it?
A mysterious vial. What could it be?
Well, it's a bit of an assumption, but what if there's poison in it?
I think it seems likely. But does that mean the priest was actually poisoned up here on the balcony?
If that's the case, maybe we should check the victim more closely. I thought so. Yeah, because based on the positioning of the dummy, it looks like he fell from a height. And also, like, I think they're wrong, aren't they, about what the colour coding of the dummies? Because wasn't blue for suffocation? I thought blue meant suffocation, meaning the poison caused him to suffocate and he fell off the balcony. Because I think, if I'm remembering correctly, right? I swear blue meant suffocation, lack of oxygen. Grey means generic, dead. Like, red means, like, burned. I thought blue meant suffocation.
How could we miss this?
We were too focused on one theory, so we didn't consider all the possibilities. Guess that's what red herring's all about.
True.
Yeah, but it was cyanide gas. Was the last time the last blue guy. I think. So he suffocated to death. Finally, we discovered all the clues. Time to piece this thing together. Okay, I think we finally found all the evidence now.
Always find all the evidence before making a deduction.
Yes, Woes, I know.
But you didn't.
The point is, now, the scenario is completely different. Priest Prey is cracked skull. There's a bottle of poison up on the balcony. What I think suggests the obvious. He tripped. Since we know the font was poisoned and the poison was up on the balcony, we know he had a cracked skull.
Yes.
So obviously, after he drank from the font, he slipped and fell, cracking his head.
Oh, Ashdown, you're helpless, aren't you?
No! I thought that... Okay. This is me getting it wrong, but I got it wrong because the wording on that was weird. I thought by he fell, they meant he drank the poison thinking it was wine, and then as he was in his poisoned flailing, or like gasping for air because he's been poisoned, he fell off the balcony and cracked his head on the floor. That's what I thought. Not what he said. My theory has more precedence than what he's saying. Okay? I'm not an idiot. I just like what they're suggesting seems more stupid to me than what I'm thinking. Is that he drank it thinking it was wine. And like, because the font being poisoned seems too far to me. The font being poisoned seems too far. Because why would you bother poisoning the font when wine is a common thing to find in a church for the sacrament? And priests, they're notoriously, they're like, okay, you're correct. Okay, you're right. They are possibly incorrect here as well. I might be getting mad at this and they're wrong and I'm right. Because, like, wine is a common thing to find in churches for the sacrament, and there has not been an insignificant amount of priests who have been known for alcoholism. So it could totally be a thing where the wine was planted up there by the other priest to look like wine, so that the one priest would, like, drink it, and then in his oh no, I'm suffocating because I've been poisoned flailing, he fell off the balcony and cracked his head. That would be my going theory. I don't think so.
Well, I can think of a different reason.
The push from the balcony is also a possibility, I'll give you that.
He was posing up in the balcony, and his killer pushed him over, where he cracked his skull.
I was just about to say that. Wait, if he was poisoned, then why did the killer bother pushing him over?
That's where the method comes in. My killer catching instincts tell me he would only do that if the poison wasn't taking effect fast enough. The Priest Bell guy really wanted Priest Prey dead.
Thanks for that, Rose. I mean it.
So this is the deduction we're going with? The final answer?
I think so.
So which clue was the red herring?
Good question. The font was the red herring. The font, obviously. Since it led me to think the water in the font was poisoned when it really wasn't.
That is a red herring, isn't it? This stage is teaching me so many things already. The bonus question, Astron.
Alright, keep forgetting that thing. Hey, maybe that's why we bid at the bottom of the rankings.
I don't think so, since the rankings are time-based, remember?
Right. Why was Priest Bell where he was when he killed Priest Prey?
I think I know. There was a big organ up on the balcony. Priest Bell knew that Priest Prey would be in order to approach him with the poison. So maybe Priest Prey plays the organ and was practicing.
And maybe the annoying sound of the organ was the motive for the murder. I'm kidding, but I wouldn't be surprised. Stupid organ music.
Yes, this is what we're going with. Submit.
You are correct. Your score on this mystery is 100%. Your answer to the bonus question was acceptable. Phew. I think that's the first time that's happened.
I think you're right, Ashdown. Hooray!
We left the cathedral. The second highest ranking detective, What's-His-Face, and his partner, What's-His-Face, were waiting next. It was awkward for a moment while the staff member rushed in to reset the crime scene.
Have fun in there.
You managed to scrub out a victory. I feel pretty good.
Me too. Look, there's Michael.
What's up?
Hey, what I want to know is who's up. In the rankings, that is.
They're still coming in. All I know is that Enz will shoot up like a rocket this round. She told me this time it's less than 2 minutes. Her time, it's less than 2 minutes.
How'd she do that?
Her method came in handy, since she was immediately able to tell if he was poisoned first, then fell, and how high. She knew what the red herring was right away. Right. We're still gonna be in at least 3rd class now. Cool, I won't see you there. Really? Somehow got the mystery wrong. I'm gonna have to go with N's last resort, I think.
Oh no.
Well, good thing we won't be in the last, I hope.
You better get back to the train and check.
Yeah, I'm just waiting for Ronan, but I'll be there soon. See you there. I'm back. Let's leave. I'm not thrilled to be near a cathedral. Yeah, me neither. Hey, what's up with those two? Right, they're weird. There's something weird happening there. But I don't know if it's just because this game is weird, or whether they are actually weird. Hi Mixel, welcome in hun. I'm doing good, thank you for asking. Snaomi's also doing good. We're solving murders on trains today. Chapter 35, The Watching Room. Part 7. Low-ranking detectives Ashton and Woes are forced to sink to a new low, asking the low detective Noman for help. Meanwhile, the mysterious runners of the detective competition, the Game Masters, are in the midst of their usual after-round chatter. We parked a little ways from the cathedral. The van was hidden in plain sight, one of a lineup of vans in a van rental place. We cleverly added a false label to the previously blank side of the trailer in order to blend in better. Why we hadn't done that before, I didn't know. Right, well that's detective pair. Too bad. It's fun seeing the detectives get used to a new format. Yeah, no more lock room mysteries. High five. We shouldn't have promised that. Remember, Stage 5's format makes more log rooms practically guaranteed. Really? I thought that applied more to Stage 4 than Stage 5. No, Greg. You're wrong. Both of them are lock room candidates, but it's up to the criminals in the end. We were watching Detective Fox and Gillian. From what I could gather, Gillian was doing her Sherlock Holmes impression again. It involved a horrendous accent. Wonder if she'll ever move on to Pierrot. Doubt it. Pierrot doesn't have the charm. We all know that. Since the 5th tier, do you think we'll see him manipulating the rankings in person? Nah, he's too sneaky. Even though I was skeptical, my eyes wandered over to the window separating the front seat from us, where 5th resided. He was busy rearranging the time rankings in an extremely obvious way. Oh, he has no shame. Not so loud or I'll try to thank you again. Right, wouldn't want to waste another 30 minutes. I glanced back at the monitor. Gillian and Fox had solved it, but time-wise they were second to last. When I looked at the final manipulated rankings, we hadn't changed much, except we placed Norman and Russell lower, and moved Genter and Romgan into 4th place, out in 4th class in place of Roll and Noose, who'd actually done pretty badly this round. They were small tweaks, but they're still morally grey. Doesn't hurt them. Hey, what would be really bad is losing our beloved top 3. They're still in the top, still the best. I'm driving. Was there ever any doubt? She left the van to go back to the front seat. I opened up the announcement app on my laptop. We were getting more high-tech. I know, Mort, it's fucking crazy. Hailing over there in Australia, but fucking boiling here in the UK today. I'm like melting. I don't know if it's also that because I have my computer on, so I'm just really hot. If you see me stopping every so often, it's because I'm having a sip of drink. I am melting. I'm not built for hot weather. And it's fucking almost 12 o'clock at night as well, and I'm still fucking boiling. All was good. I played the announcement tune. Clark hummed along. It's just 3 notes, Clark. Not much to hum to. I know. Is everyone back on the train? I want to make sure they don't miss this. Where's Detective Asper? It's not with Slakes? We checked various monitors. There he is. He's talking to Riddler July for some reason. Make sure to tell the detectives that classes are separated and should not intermingle. Will do. Kane started the engine again. It was going to be a much longer trip this time. We were headed north. I began the announcement. Chapter 36. 5 uncomfortable minutes. The rankings have changed again. Detective Ends may be on the path to victory, but in the lower tier, in doing so, she abandoned the previous plan for helping the lower tier detectives cheat. Now they're forced to go with Ends' last resort, a backup plan that involves the most hated detective in the entire mystery competition, Detective Noman. Door 32. Wherein the dreaded Noman resided. Not too late to go with option 3 instead. What is option 3? Like I said, win honestly. Mackle stared at me blankly. Juliana Fox, who Mackle had roped into joining us, looked a bit uncomfortable. The train lurched. It also disagreed with me. Look, Ashtown, we're not cheaters. That's news to me. We find a way to win that was explicitly forbidden. Is that really cheating? And besides, those top 3 detectives haven't budged. Maybe they know something we don't. Maybe they're cheating. Ever think of that? Maybe so, but... It's cheating. Exactly. I don't care about your protests. You're here, aren't you? Well, couldn't argue with that. Now let's confront Norman about this. We're sure he'll help us. I'm not. But he's smart. He can give us stupid people a hand. It's the first time I've heard anyone compliment Noman. Why do I even hate him so much? It's time to find out. Mackle turned the knob and pushed open the door. New character! Okay. I was expecting this cutscene to have more to it than just this. But no. No, he's just gonna sit there. It was just a zoom out cutscene of a man with his eyes facing in 2 different directions. Fair enough. No, man. Stolen mannequins were arranged around his compartment. Noman had been reading a book. I could barely make out the title. Pentagram. Couldn't you tell I was reading? Stop bothering me. No, how could I have known that? You must be drunk. Let a guard take you away back to your filthy prison lest you further disturb me. Want me to wait until the book wears off? Don't wait. Leave. We're not leaving until we've asked you a few questions. I'm not going to answer any questions. You might as well leave. Marco shrugged and started texting. Noman continued to read. Everyone else waited in silence. Started to get extremely uncomfortable in the room, not just because we were all crammed inside. Every time Noman turned a page, he turned it angrily, with an air of impatience, because we weren't leaving. Apparently Mackle's only tactic against him was ignoring him. Fortunately, we were safe by the door. Ah, you brought friends over. Didn't know you had any. Noman's partner, Russell. No, knock next time. Sorry, was in a hurry. You, Mackle. Noman flipped a page too quickly and ripped it a little. His eyebrow twitched. Mackle continued to text. I have your card. You're the objective detective. Russell, that's enough. He snapped the book shut for good this time. Ready to talk? Fine, but I won't answer any questions. I know you're trying to cheat in the contest. Break out of the system. But your plan was unbelievably terrible. All you did was copy what the top-tier detectives did. They got caught. Why did you think that would work? I have a better way. Explain. The entire key to this stupid contest is the Game Master bias effect. You can't win without appealing to his bias. Yeah, that's what we were trying to do. We know the Game Master likes the top 3 detectives. When they cheated, they didn't kick them out like he should have. Did you guys ever stop to think? Why those are the top 3 detectives? Because they're much better than us. I won't answer that question. You have to realize, those 3 are top detectives because the Game Master made them the top 3 detectives. He controls the ranking. that isn't time-based, like he claimed it is. What? Yeah, it is. Did you ever bother to time yourselves? This is why I hate you all. You take the status quo for granted. You don't question the narrative. You work within the other people's framing. Yeah, but we also don't have a disgusting method. Your methods are boring. Let's not get off track. You're saying the Game Master is manipulating the rankings according to the detectives he likes? I won't answer that question. Here's what you must do. Simply be a detective the Game Master would like. The fact that you're here means you aren't. We're unlikable. Aren't you just bitter that you haven't ranked higher? I'm not being bitter. I'm making you uncomfortable. I'm making you think. Oh my fucking god, he's like an Asmongold. I don't know what Asmongold sounds like because I have thankfully avoided all of his content for my entire life and plan to continue to do so forever. But he's a fucking Asmongold. Where he's like deliberately fucking a shithead. So people... Like he's one of those people that are like, I'm a shithead, but that makes you think. I'm a shithead, but that makes you think, so aren't you the worst person? No, fucker, you're a shithead. I figured out what kind of guy he is, and I don't like him. I agree with you, he shouldn't be in the top. So, that this was a complete waste of time. The only time you see other detectives solving a mystery is during the final round, when conveniently the ranking isn't time-based. Oh, hi Sarul! Hi Raiders, welcome in. It's me, Pigeon Wishes, your resident pigeon fae from the UK. And we're playing a game called Methods, the detective game. Or the detective, competition. I always say game, it's competition. How was 7 Days to Die, Sarul? I hope everyone's doing alright. If you need to raid and run, feel free. It's a nice chill game we're doing today. It's a visual novel with, well, it's a fucking insane visual novel with 200 characters and over 100 chapters. I think we're on 37 now out of 100. But each chapter is very short. So, but yeah, very good game, very good game. So if people need to raid and run, if people need to like go have a snack and stuff, feel free to. We'll still be here. Oh, you work, oh yeah, because you're doing a lab thing, aren't you, for yeah, so context again for the people who've just come in. And Mort is correct. I am also voice acting every single character, so I have to try and come up with like 200 unique voices. We've been mostly succeeding so far, but at some point we're going to reach the limit of the amount of accents I can do. We're going to reach a limit to the amount of voices I am capable of. So far we're still going strong. Right now we're dealing... So we switch around what detectives we're hanging out with as well in the competition. And at the moment we're with the bottom ranking detectives for the first time. So we're still getting used to all of these characters who are considered the bottom rank. Out of... I think they said there's 50 detectives left in the competition. So these are the bottom 10 in this train car. We spent the last several chapters before this with the top ranking 10. Also, thank you for the resub, Cyril. What was I going to say? I can't remember. I can't remember. My brain's too focused on what's going on with this game right now. And also the fact that I'm boiling. I'm too hot. We had our first, like, mildly warm day here in the UK, for those who aren't here. And I don't know what's going on, whether it's that my computer is... No, because my computer doesn't feel hot. So I don't think it is my computer. Because I'm touching my computer now and it doesn't feel hot. But I'm hot. I'm hot. There's no breeze. Oh yeah, I said I was gonna ask about, because I was gonna say that I thought you were doing like a collab thing, aren't you? Where where it's like SMP, but not, because it's for the zombie game. Last I remember. But I could be wrong. That could be another thing that you did before. It's been a while. Yeah, I knew it was, I thought it was an SMP, because I think I remember you talking about it. But I'm glad it's going well and that you're having fun. We're having fun with this game. And with D&D, obviously. But yeah, it's a lot of voices. So if you hear me taking drinks every so often, I need to drink a lot while I play this. Just to make sure my throat doesn't, like, get too bad for tomorrow. Right, back to voicing fucking the Asmongold character. The one who's deliberately an annoying asshole. The only time you see other detectives solving a mystery is during the final round, when, conveniently, the ranking isn't time-based. Unless you time it yourselves, you'll never know. You want me to pretend everything is great? Talk to the secret detective instead. I'm not here to placiate you. Go away. Alright, whatever. Come on, guys. As we left, he stuck a knife repeatedly into a nearby mannequin, while glaring at us. Come again. He's gotta be lying, right? Reason that the game master is biased would be a way to change our ranking. But what could I do to be more like a detective game master likes? I'm glad you've been enjoying the Easter of it as well, Cyril. It was fun doing the like hand posy expression for that model. And drawing the eyes for that one was fun as well, with the like stars in the eyes. It has a good colour palette, I think. You have a nice colour palette in that outfit. I like drawing things. I like drawing things. Stop being annoying. I don't know how to tape that.
What do you think he meant about a secret detective?
Julian knows.
Yeah, a good detective never fails to follow a lead, and when I was in the round stage 1, back at the apartment, I wound up on the 4th floor.
Look.
Game master bias.
I observed that there was one extra door in the hallway where the detectives entered the crime scene rooms. Door 0051. The waiting room was abuzz with rumours about the extra door. The most prominent one was with an extra detective or an extra detective pair. How many models have I made? Good question. Let me check. I have a visible way to check this. I have a actual visible way to check this. I'm pretty sure. If I go onto VGen and onto my artist's dashboard, completed. I've did that Cyril model. I did Argopol's Cyril model. I did a bunch of Fugies for Junie. So that's 3 PNG tubers there, 4 PNG tubers, 5 PNG tubers. I made Elwyn's TTS model, which I'm counting, so that's 6. Six so far. 7 because I made a full VTuber model for someone, but it never got used. I made Snaremy, so 8. I made me, so 9. I made my alternate outfit, so 10. Yeah, we're going 10, I want to say, and for ones that weren't done on VGen, I want to round it up to like 12. I want to say about 12 models, but most of those PNG tubers. VTuber models with actual movement, I've done about 4 or 5. Most of them not used, if I'm completely honest. Because I did my model, I did Snarmy, I did Elwyn's TTS pet, which is the little hamster she has, Buffy. I also did a bunch of Elwyn's VTuber models expressions. I don't know if that's ever brought up, like, as a thing. I don't think people realise that, but a bunch of Elwyn's VTuber, well, because she's rebranding now, but on her vampire model, I made, I want to say, 7 of her model expressions, where I did the art on the added the art for them to the VTuber file and drew them. Also, Cyril, there is no main character. There's no main character in this. We swap around different detectives. Randomly. Randomly we swap, every couple chapters we swap to a different detective. I love doing VTubers. I love doing models. But nobody wants a PNG, like a model, off me because I'm an unknown. So it's been a while since I've done an actual model. And what with my debut coming up, I've been working on new emotes and stuff. Which there is sneak peeks to on the Discord, because I've added them to the Discord already, the new emotes. Which I probably shouldn't have said, because that's kind of a little bit of spoilers for what the model looks like. But it doesn't hurt. It doesn't hurt to give you a taste, considering it's supposed to debut is the start of next month. So about in a month is the debut for the new model. And so it doesn't hurt to tease you guys a little bit with what the new emotes. I got some good ones. I drew them all myself. If I'm completely honest, with my commissions, I mostly have ended up doing emotes for people. People just tend to really like how I draw emotes. And surprisingly, I've had a lot more male. Like you would expect me to get a lot more female commissions. But actually I have surprisingly quite a high statistically more male models done than female. You wouldn't expect that, but that's actually what my demographic appears to be, is mostly men. It's interesting actually, because I think it's statistically quite different to the norm. Obviously, not a complaint. I don't mind drawing either. I like drawing everything. I just think it's interesting that my demographic is so different. Actually, I didn't give myself enough credit. It's got to be 13, because I'm classing the different outfits for Pigeon as their own model, because they basically are. The punk model outfit, when I got that done, I also added the glasses. And I also added the alternate hairstyle. And when I get the detective outfit done, down the line, when I get that rigged, it's already drawn. When I get that rigged, it's going to be basically an entirely different model, because it's gonna have hair and accessories and arm poses and stuff. I'm glad, Cyril. I'm glad you went to me for it, because you've seen my stuff I've done for Vesp. Some of my favourite art is the Vesper art, where I drew him as what's her name? Dementia Raven Way. I can't remember her full name because it's fucking long. The My Immortal Girl, where I drew him as the My Immortal Girl. The 2 times I've drawn that is some of my, I think, funniest art I've ever done. The most permanent one was when it was an extra detective or an extra detective pair.
After round 1, nobody seemed to know who to talk about it anymore. I never solved that mystery. I can't make bricks without clay after all. Do you think that's the secret detective Norman was referring to?
Yeah, yes, suppose. So what's our plan now? I guess we'll take the bait and search for the secret detective.
What if we try to monitor all the dots in this train? The secret detective needs to disembark to solve the crimes.
There's only 5 of us and 8 cars to watch, not counting the conductor car and dining cars. How will we get around that? We could try to narrow down which car the secret detective is probably on. Then that's what it will do. See you tomorrow. Bye. Mako was probably not going to be the right kind of leader for our group. As biased as the Game Master apparently was against her, Ence had been much more assertive and seemed to always have a plan, whereas Mako seemed less sure of what to do. My thoughts were, surprisingly, interrupted by Fox.
Another possibility. The secret detective is on the criminal train.
Ooh, I hadn't considered that they'd be a criminal and a detective. So, you guys haven't seen this before, the people who joined with the raid. Each chapter starts with a James Bond-esque paper cutout screen like this, and I fucking love them. The style of this game is so fun. Chapter 37. The Inclusion Split. The cheating continues within the mysterious detective competition. The detective Noman has divulged a clue. A secret detective is hidden somewhere and can help the 4th class cheat. Will they find the secret detective before the next stage, when the red line will ensure they will get kicked out of the contest?
Separate train for the criminals.
Yeah. Good night. He walked away. Gillian shrugged and followed after him.
He's such a quiet, talkative fellow.
I repeated Woe's last sentence in my brain at least 16 times. Each time I repeated it, the less sense it made. Sorry, I just realised that I was staring at the wall for an inordinate amount of time. Let's go. We started walking back to our compartments. But as soon as I realised we'd switched compartments since the rankings changed. We were now occupying the rooms Ence and Raptor had been in.
Do you think there's any truth to Norman's theory that the Game Master's prejudice? That he's manipulating the rankings?
I don't know what we'd be able to do about it.
Well, we could object to it. We could try to get the Game Master.
He has plausible deniability. We just look like idiots. He would probably kick us out.
Yeah, we're in his world, not in the real world. We have to play by his rules.
This is exactly what Norman was saying. Even when we have nothing to lose, taking on the Game Master seems too daunting. Maybe that's the real reason we're such losers.
Don't say that, Ashton. We're not losers. We're gonna climb the rankings. We'll capture that criminal you're always talking about.
I hope so.
The Game Master is just one man. How powerful could he be?
I don't really want to know. Hi, Juby!
Hi!
We're following new characters. Juby, we're following new characters. And I think you'll like Woe, who is the girl here on the right. I think you'll like Woe. You probably won't like Ashton, our character that we're playing as at the moment. Detective Thinks with Fist got kicked out of the competition. He was too low on the ranking, and as it's gone on, he's got kicked out of the competition. We're down to 50 detectives, and they're on a train. I didn't mention the fact that they're on a train now. And the first case in this game, they went to Kentucky. I thought you'd find that entertaining. The first case, they're on a train that's travelling across America, and the first case that they've solved on the train was in Kentucky. I don't know why specifically Kentucky, but it was. Yeah, I think Thinks with Fists is gone. Nell is still in the competition. Nell's still here, although she got separated from the clown boy because of the cheating. Now we're following Ashdown and Woe. We live in a world where billionaires could conceivably fund their own army and conquer the government. Not that they'd need to. Fun fact, the billionaire class controls our government.
That wasn't very fun.
Yeah. Well, maybe we'll think of something tomorrow. For now, good night.
Good night, Ashdown.
Ads are starting. I'm gonna snooze them. Too early to do ads. I feel like we did ads not long ago. We can snooze them. I entered my compartment and found that all my stuff had been moved into a new room with centimetre to centimetre accuracy. I could barely tell it had been moved at all. Before going to sleep, I adjusted it again. Now my stuff was millimetre to millimetre accurate. I could rest easy. The next day, I got up early. Mackle was pounding on my door. What? We need to discuss something. I joined her in the hall. What's the problem? Remember that the rankings changed since round 1. Obviously, but I don't know the new rankings yet. Ants and Raptor moved up. Jinter and Rongman took their place. So do we include them in the cheating ring? Cheating ring. I mean the perfectly legitimate moving up in the rankings ring. From what I recall, Janter was an unusual detective. Since the first stage, I'd never held on to a partner for more than 1 round, Rogman being the exception. If he wants to. That's the thing. What if he doesn't want to? What if he reveals our new plans to the Game Master like Norman did? We don't really have a plan yet, though. Can we talk about this over breakfast? Oh, everyone who go have a good eats. Go have a good eats. Tell me what you have when you get back. Fine. We reached the dining car. Tronin had joined the usual table. Woes was already there.
You're the chaser detective, you said. That's me. Yes, the name's stuck, but it kind of describes it, so yeah. In other words, your method is that you chase things, which isn't a method you can use in this contest. Ashdown does most of the work for you, right?
There was an uncomfortable silence as everyone looked towards me. Woes provides the energy, I provide the brain power. What's the final vote on whether we should invite Janter or Rongan into the winning group? I abstain.
We should.
Yeah. No. They weren't part of the group before.
Then we have a split.
Now for me to break that.
What was that? You'll have a banana split.
Yeah. She wrote down the order.
Oh. Do you see that? Mako just said yes to our order and the vote. It's only a great detective like Sherlock.
Shut up. Before you give me a seizure from all this deja vu. But yes, I've changed my mind. We should invite them in. If only because Jillian doesn't want to. Sounds good to me.
Do you know what else sounds good? Mars burgers.
No, they don't. Yeah, Junie's playing through all of the Resident Evil games. She's gonna play 4 next. Also, Cyril, that does sound good. I had chicken pasta bake today. That was my dinners today, was chicken pasta bake. It was also good. You can't really go wrong with pasta, though. After breakfast, we found ourselves outside Janter's door. More déjà vu. I realised we've been doing the same things over and over for the past few days. Eating breakfast or lunch while discussing the situation, walking and talking in the hallways between compartments, and waiting outside the doors to compartments that housed detectives who probably didn't want to talk to us. It didn't bother me. I like routines. I kind of thought I'd see you here. Nah. You, Tron. Whoever you two are. Is Everything there with you, or do we have to ESP as well? No. I was just about to see if I could make it to the second class without the staff noticing. So would you mind walking with me? Sure. Who are you?
Was.
So you're Ashdown. Yes, confirmed.
You can't steal their methods.
Alright, Genter's method was involving being able to imitate other detectives' methods. No, I don't think so. I'm a little insulted. I don't really want to bother memorizing facts, no offense. What? I think it's a really fun method. It's just not for me. You sure? Yeah.
So what made you stick with Romgan?
Well, her method is to talk to every clue and object in the room. And there's no way I'm doing that. It's unbelievably awkward. I've started to notice that the more I stick around her, the more I feel like I'm developing a method of my own. Before, I was so eager to use other people's methods that I didn't bother trying to express myself. Jetta tucked through the small door that led in between the cars. It's a great new feeling. Individualism.
What's with all the partner switching anyway?
I got bored of them, or they didn't like me, or both. With Torona, it was because I couldn't learn her method. In the time, I thought that was a bad thing. Now I see it would have helped me discover my own. You should regret it. Anyway, Genter, I was wondering something. Would this be the reason you knocked at my door? Yeah, these guys are trying to get into first class. Or at least rise in the rankings. Isn't everyone? I mean, less honestly. Anne's used to be leading us, but now she's gone and actually done well at her mystery. So now we need a new leader. Well, it was Lydia who asked my friend. This is redacted. When I discovered her last stage, she offered to help me cheat. But I'm not interested in cheating. Detective redacted? Obviously. He's talking about the secret detective. Oh yeah. That's a really good way to describe her. Secret detective. So mysterious. Paranormal Sight was also just a fucking excellent game, though, Mort. Paranormal Sight is one of my favourite games. I've got to play the first game for you guys at some point on the channel. That might be what we do soon, is play the first game so that you guys get to experience that as well. Because, obviously, The Memory's Curse is the sequel. Sequel, quotation marks. It's in the same universe, but the events actually happen aren't connected. All that much. Do not go any further. The other classes are off limits. Well, we had a problem with that idea. But it ends the Nomen than this secret detective. Did anyone in the contest know a good way for us to beat the system? I'm starting to lose hope. Chapter 38. The Secret. There's a rumour floating around the detective competition. A secret detective who may be able to help the lower tier detectives cheat their way to the top. And now a Detective Genter has revealed that he knows the secret detective personally. You know where the secret detective is? I might. There's a small chance. The detective redactive is currently visiting third class. On the criminal train? No, on this train. Third class is where the secret passage is. It's hidden in one of the rooms.
Oh, cool. A secret passage.
You bet. Secret passage for the secret detective. Redacted is allowed in and both the criminal and detective sides of the competition. So she needs a way to get from one train to the other. That's why the passage exists. So you think she might be using it now? Okay, let's go. Make it for someone else to be leading this highly skilled team. Well, Game Master just told us not to go through that door. What, chickening out? No. Rose is with me. I'm not scared. That's right. You can't get hurt while I'm around. Whoa, what a fearless crime fighter you are. Lead the way, Genter. I'm warning you. Don't go through that door. We went through the door. Oh well, my fault for not locking it, I guess. We were in third class. And for some reason, Detective Slakes was there. Who are you? Me? No, you. Me. Yeah. You Detective White? No. You sure? I'm looking for him. He owes me money. He owes you money and you don't know what he looks like. I just know he has white hair. Excuse me, but we're busy with something. Wait a minute, I find this highly suspicious. What are you doing in Third Slakes? Well... Whomst the fuck are you? Whomst the fuck are you? That's not Red July. Whomst the fuck are you? Excusez-moi? Whomst? Who do you believe that you are? Because you are certainly not Red July. We have seen Red July, and we have seen Red July's copy. And you are neither of those two people. Whomst the fuck? Wait. 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 Brain thought. Thought occurring. Connections. Imagine a board with red string. Connections. Our girly pop that we've been with the whole time here. She's tall. She has blonde hair. She has a similar face to Red July. This girly pop, blonde, is not Red July. She is not tall enough. And also has the wrong hair. Her hair isn't the right shape. Do we perhaps maybe think girly pop whoa is Red July? Or has been Red July? No, that wouldn't make sense. No, I'm getting too conspiracy brained. I figure in a red hat and coat shoveled out a nearby room. No, it's not. Slikes hurried away down the corridor. I wondered what would have made him back down, but then I realised the red-hatted detective must be Red July. One of the only detectives in the competition with any kind of reputation in the outside world. Her name was often referred to by lesser detectives in order to squeeze confessions out of criminals. Came from one of the most dangerous cases in recent history, and she'd been the one to solve it. The case was in the news for months, quickly becoming worldwide. It wasn't long before that the Red July detectives became simply Red July. Red July stumbled. The hat fell off. Oh, it's you.
Gosh, you shouldn't be here.
This is Detective Redacted. Okay, so it is explained. This is the secret detective. No, I don't care. Meckle started texting. Woes. You don't remember who this is?
Oh, the arson case.
What do I do?
It's different this time. I'm here.
Right. We're looking for you.
You can't be Detective Redacted. This doesn't make any sense. You're Marcy Drew. You ruined Ashton's life.
I did not.
That's completely unfair, Rose.
What's this about? Sounds boring. Looks like there's some Charlotte work story stuff going on. We'll talk about it later.
Oh, good. You're finally ready to talk about it then?
I knew how this was going to go. Marcy was going to immediately take charge and talk about how great she was. Like usual.
You're the guys who tried to cheat last round, right? I heard about that from the Game Master. You guys don't have a clue what you're doing, do you? Time for me to set you straight. Maybe over a steak sandwich.
Oh boy, here we go. Macy insisted on going to the dining car. So this is his ex-wife then. This is what the arson case is about. Their former partners. I knew, because they mentioned, the first class people mentioned that two of the lower detectives were partners in real life, but they weren't partners while in the competition. And I think that we finally found the fucking other partner. The steak sandwich was not, as it turned out, a snack for Hannibal Lecter. It's great that I can finally just eat out like this in the open, but don't think I've been starving. Game Master prepared everything for me to live in secret. Such a kind guy. I'm sure. She was probably thinking about what Noman had said. They constructed a secret passage that runs through the train so I can get into the detective side when it's time for the contest. My own compartment is back in the criminal train. How's that all work? Where's the criminal train? I'll explain later. I don't know how much time can pass before the Game Master seizes me and boots me out of the contest. First, I should tell you how you're gonna win. I've been slipping for swell to the game the system this whole time. I think I finally found a way. What's that? She was looking in Mackle's pocket. It's a card Russell gave me. Keen, it's me. She held it up. Not much is known about this secret detective. It was a homemade trading card with printed letters showing various stats. From what I could tell from glance, the card's description was mostly about how little anyone knew about the secret detective. Macy tucked it away. Hey, that's mine. Takers keepers. So annoying. So where were we? The part where you tell us your big plan to cheat. But that reminds me. I won't tell you anything unless Ashdown promises one thing. What? Leave the arson case where it belongs. The past. Don't talk about it.
I don't want to hear it. Okay?
Wasn't really something I wanted to talk about anyway. Michael shrugged. Yeah, he promises. Hey, I'm gonna let you guys work this out. Maybe Michael and me will go fetch Julian and Fox. Sounds better than this. They left. This was it. I'd been waiting a long time to confront Macy. I'd rehearsed 60 conversations in preparation. It was time for me to stop being a doormat. Stop letting her step on my face. Crushing my nose with her boot. Well, she rang the doorbell to the door of success. A door that was mine to open. Sir Ashdown, what do you want to say to me? You know what? It was all my fault. Let's put it behind us. No. Why did I say that? Chapter 39. Skeletons in the Closet. The secret detective is Macy Drew. Memories come flooding back to Ashdown. Horrible, horrible memories. 10 years ago. Do you accept your duties as Detective Montague Ashdown? Yes. No, those duties consist of fetching donuts for you, no. Of course not. I prefer pretzels. Big doughy pretzels, remember? Still a little tongue-in-cheek humor, sir. Sounded more like a fun-mouth humor to me. But I forgive you, Detective. I smiled thinly. This position was something I'd worked hard for in the 3 years I'd been with the force. I'd finally been acknowledged. Not that it hadn't been fun being a lowly officer. I'd had woes to get me through the tough times. We'd be friends before the police academy. Then we both somehow wound up in the same department. Montague, did I say correctly? Yes. I'm never calling you that again. Fine by me. I'm calling you Detective Ashdown now. Great. Before I called you Officer Ashdown, but now you're promoted. Sweet, got it. Things were always a little tense with Chief Harron. He grunted and opened a file cabinet, took out a folder and flipped through its contents. A phone rang in the distance. We're in the police headquarters. It was small, distinct, and we had a small building. It was mostly desk jobs, but me and Woes specialised in field work. Oh, so him and Woes did know each other. They'd been friends before this. Okay, that's nice to know that those two have been, like, friends for a while. That's good background, because I thought that they just only knew each other from the competition. When is Officer Woes getting her promotion? Not for a while. Why? She's done more work than me. Only room for one promotion. Still need officers in the field, Detective. Got it. The phone rang again. Hold on a second, Ashdown. He answered the phone. Sorted through my mixed emotions. Anger goes in the red column, sadness in the blue column, happiness in the green column. No, not the yellow column. Most people get that wrong. That was why I was better at sorting my emotions than everyone else. This'll cheer you up, Ashdown. Oh, he's so autistic. Oh, he's so autistic. World's most autistic man, actually, maybe. We've done it. We've found them. The most autistic man to ever live. Someone's been murdered. Man by the name of Mr. York. Oh, great. I'll get Woes. Mac and cheese! Ooh. No, Ashdown. I want you to work with a friend of mine. She's a consulting detective. I think you'll be a better match. He picked up the phone again, dialed, and started gabbing. Yay, I was finally promoted. Good for me. Does this mean I wasn't going to go work with Woes anymore? The blue column was in danger of being disproportionate to the other columns. You'll be glad to know she said yes. You're in luck. She solved 125 mysteries. Quantity leads to quality. That's exactly right, Detective. You'll get along great. Keep saying it and it'll be true. Maybe you've heard of her, Macy Drew? Macy Drew, by the way, for people who don't know, haven't figured out the pun here. Her name is a joke about Nancy Drew, which is a detective game series. Like a Spot the Things detective game series, point and click. I feel like most people know what Nancy Drew games are, but In case people weren't getting what the joke was here with her name. Macy Drew? She's an amateur sleuth. She has a nose for crime. Thought you just said she was a consulting detective who would have solved over 100 cases. Maybe you didn't hear me correctly. But that's okay, detective. You'll learn eventually. Okay, just tell me where to go. It was going to be an unhappy few months. I was standing outside an apartment where Mr. York had been murdered. It was a cold morning. It smelled cold. Wonder if crime smelled cold or hot. It was a stupid thing for me to wonder about. There she is. A yellow jalopy pulled up to the curb. Even though I didn't know the car Marcy drove, the license plate said it all.
Golly, my first murder. So exciting.
She was coming across exceptionally chipper. Maybe that would offset my calm, nerdy personality? This might work.
Macy Drew, amateur sleuth.
So I gathered. I'm Detective Ashdown.
Sounds like you have a tragic past.
More like a tragic present.
Oh, I wish my friends Beck and Grog were here.
Okay, stretch your name.
Grog is fine.
Anyway, we don't have too many cooks putting around in crime scene.
Oh well, Grog isn't a cook.
This is gonna be one of those days.
I'm just messing with you.
This is murder, and it's very serious.
Don't worry, I can handle any type of mystery. If there's something to solve, I will. That's my motto.
How grammatically deficient of you. We entered the crime scene. Empty cages surrounded us on all sides. Henry told me the animals had been given to a nearby pet shelter.
Do you think the tiger took them in?
The tiger?
Look at that cage. Clearly built for a tiger.
I nodded, but I didn't mean it. Marcy was talking out of her nose for crime. A nose that was getting longer by the minute. My only consolidation was that a longer nose might improve her sense of smell.
I'm gonna write this down in my Drew Clue diary.
Let's start the investigation.
Groovy, groovy, groovy.
It was always a good sign when the detective had a catchphrase they said before investigating a tragic death. 1, 2, 3, 4, 9 bowls. The report I'd been given by Chief Harron said the new Mr. York owned 9 different types of animals. 1 monkey, 3 birds, a hamster, 2 lizards, a snake, and a mongoose. My guess was that he didn't let the mongoose near the snake too often. Yeah, because a mongoose actually kills snakes. Fun fact, it's one of the only mammals that kill things like rattlesnakes. They're fun. Mongoose are fun. They're like a weasel, but not. The kitchen.
Nothing to see here.
You never know when there might be a clue.
But there isn't one here, Detective Ashdown.
Here's the wardrobe. The victim was found inside.
Oh man, no dead body. Just some terrible tracing job.
That is pretty terrible. Porter says he was choked or something. Asphyxiated.
Neato.
We looked all over. Galloping
Gospels. I figured out a clue.
What?
There are 9 cages. But 10 bowls. Right?
10 bowls. I counted 9.
There are 10.
That's absurd. I looked again. My words tasted like instant, fresh French food. Wrong. Guess I've been thinking of the report and hadn't counted correctly.
Nothing gets past me. I'm fly as a fly. Even my eyes have eyes.
Yeah, I get it. You're a living nightmare. What does the fact there are 10 bowls mean?
So what was the extra animal? Cat or a dog wouldn't need a cage, so they would be a candidate, but there's no cat or dog food to be found, nor any evidence of a cat or dog hair. So we can assume 2 animals were packed in 1 cage.
Okay.
Wasn't the tiger. They're too big and to fit in 1 cage, and maybe there was a baby tiger?
There was no tiger.
Yes, there was. I found suspicious orange fur in one of the cages.
Fun fact, it could have been the monkey.
The teeth marks and paw marks on the floor.
Okay, who's the detective here?
How about the python? Pythons, plural. I thought you'd only had one of those grody snakes.
Ah, so.
Wait, did the police know about the 2 snakes?
I think there was only 1 snake in the report.
Can't make any sudden movements.
There's only one thing that could mean. Cut it out. Stop joking about an extra snake.
I had an adventure with a snake in it once. It was on the cover of my book, but I don't think it actually had much to do with it.
Book?
Yeah, you put the most exciting thing on the cover, no matter how little it factors into the story. Snakes like warm, dark places.
I stepped away from the bed. This is it. My actual nightmare. Where was Woes? Woes wasn't afraid of snakes. She wasn't afraid of anything. She would probably try to arrest it. She'd probably succeed. You know what? Ashdown, I thought too lowly of you. Ashdown, we thought too badly of you. The amount in this flashback that you're talking, bigging up Woes, I no longer think poorly of Ashdown. Ashdown has now weaseled his way up my rankings for being nice to Woes and for being her genuine friend. Like, the like straight up saying, yeah, I think she could fight a snake and win. That's nice. I appreciate that. They seem like they're genuine friends, actually.
Wait,
That's all I've been doing.
does this mean you're not finding criminal after all? This guy is killed by using a snake by accident, right?
If you're right.
This is going to animal court. Not your problem.
My hands were shaking with fear. Is there a snake on the loose or not? Macy?
Let's just leave. I found all the clues.
Great, now just... Jiminy Cricket! The python was in the hallway.
Oh, you found it?
I tried to remember everything I knew about pythons, but my mind was crumbled with fright. Snakes eat rats. Fun fact, snakes eat rats.
So what?
That wasn't right. Fun fact, I am panicking.
I can tell.
That wasn't helpful. Careful, Maisie. You can spit poison up to 10 feet.
It's adorable.
That's wrong. That's wrong. It's not a python that can spit venom up to 10 feet. It's an adder that can spit venom up to 10 feet. What is he on about? That's the wrong kind of snake. Also, pythons are like the dog equivalent of a snake. Or a snake equivalent of a Labrador. They won't hurt you. Pythons don't really bite like that either. They're a constrictor. You'll be fine. They also would rather avoid humans where they can. You'd be completely fucking fine if you had a constrictor. Yeah, but pythons also aren't venomous. So what is he talking about? Because pythons and boas are both constrictors. They don't envenomate their prey, they squeeze them to death. Like, what is this guy on? You'd be fine. You'd be completely fine if a python was loose. There have been, like, pretty much, like, no cases of a python killing a person. And if that has been, it's because the person was fucking with the python first. You take the window.
Relax, it's not poisonous. Where'd you learn that?
From the most trusted source I know.
Just don't go your way to provoke it. This is Snake 101, Ashdown. How could you not know this? Pythons kill through constriction.
Okay. This is another pigeon getting mad at game being wrong when actually the game being wrong is part of the game. No, that's cobras. Hence the classic phrase, cuddle with the cobra.
Yeah, 'cause you're gonna have to find a different source.
No, my source is factually correct.
What's wrong is thinking this friendly reptile is poisonous.
It's not a reptile, it's an amphibian.
Gosh, Ashdown, where are you getting this stuff?
Wikipedia. What? Excuse me? Excuse me? Excuse me? Excuse me? What? What did he just say? Excuse me? Did he just say what I think he just said? Chat. Chat, I think we have to kill this guy. Chat, I think we have to kill this guy. Chat, I'm afraid we might have to kill this guy. Chat, I'm afraid we might have to kill this guy. I'm sorry. Ashdown, you got in my good books because you're nice to WoW. But now you've just, like, said a fucking snake is an amphibian. And that you get all your information off Wikipedia. And I'm afraid you can't be allowed to exist within the human population for the slight chance that you might procreate. I think you're not allowed to... I think we need to get rid of you from the human population in the slight chance that you might procreate. This guy? Yeah, I haven't said this line yet because I was not over him calling a python venomous and also saying it's an amphibian. I needed a moment to process that before we get to this bullshit. Okay, we'll get to this bullshit. It had taken me 5.3 months to memorize Wikipedia. There was no way any of the information on it could be false.
You know what, Ashdown? None of the facts you say today were correct. Now please step up. By the snake.
5.3 months to memorize the entirety of Wikipedia, and it is all wrong.
It won't attack you, I promise.
How about you first?
Haven't you ever heard of exposure therapy, Ashdown? This will be good for you.
I had no choice. I stepped past the amphibian reptile. Well, no. Wikipedia is not a resource that anyone can update. Fandom Wiki, anyone can update. But Wikipedia, you actually have to be approved as a trusted article updater. There's like a trial period, and they check everything you do as you update it. It's like peer reviewed the entire time. People have tried to do pranks on Wikipedia where they get the approval to update things after the amount of time it takes to get that. And they've pulled a prank, and the longest any of the pranks have ever lasted is maybe a day. So it's actually really hard to fuck up things on Wikipedia. Nowadays. Maybe not in the past, but nowadays Wikipedia is not a horrendous place to find actual places to find information. Because you, like, I always say, as someone who went to school to be a teacher, Wikipedia is okay to look at, but you look at Wikipedia to get the base information of what you want, or like get a general gist, and then you scroll down right to the bottom of whatever page you're looking at and find the bibliography, and then you click through the bibliography for more specific information to get the actual source of the information where Wikipedia got it from. So Wikipedia isn't a bad resource. It's just that some people use Wikipedia wrong when doing their stuff. Because I've had to write 7 dissertations, I want to say, because I had to write 1 for college, or 2 for college, at least 3 for university, plus my final dissertation, which makes it at 6. And then I had to write 2 separate ones for teaching. So I'm actually wrong. I've written more than I thought. I've written 8 dissertations. And so Wikipedia isn't a bad resource. People overhate Wikipedia because there is actually really hard to fuck up a Wikipedia because everything is checked constantly. If any false information is found on a Wikipedia, it's reported pretty much immediately to the mod team and is changed. But you shouldn't be using it as an actual reference in your own bibliography for a dissertation. You should take the bibliography from the Wikipedia page, which is at the bottom of the Wikipedia page, actually read where they got their information from, And that's how you use Wikipedia, because then you cite that. It's a thing, because people hate on Wikipedia too much, but even my teacher teachers, the teachers who teach teachers how to be teachers, agreed that Wikipedia is not a bad resource when it's being used correctly. Okay, back to game. I've had my teacher rant of the day. Save that time.
Kinda boring, my first murder case wasn't even a real murder. This guy just killed by one of his own pets.
Sure seems that way. Oh, listen, Maisie. Don't mention how scared I was to shoot ferreting.
Sure.
Still have to write it down in my
Well, I still have to write it down in my report. Must be factual after all.
She left for her car. Mostly, wait a second. The apartment building we'd just been inside suddenly burst into flames. You didn't see anyone inside who could have set the fire? No. You sure Miss York's death was accidental? This is what Macy had determined. Macy was the last person to leave? That's right. Most likely the person who set the fire was her. One thing led to another. I accused Macy of the murder of Mr. York, and of destroying the evidence. But I could never prove it. I lost that court battle. I lost that detective badge. She'd ruined my life. And now she was trying to ruin it again. Chapter 40. The Watching Room, Part 8. The secret detective, Macy Drew, has been discovered. She and Ashtown have a past that continues to haunt them. Now that the secret's out, how will the game masters deal with it? So Macy's running about. Now what? We pull the plug? She doesn't exactly be useful anyway.
Maybe too late.
We would have to do a big cover-up with then the whole drug detectives incident. Don't remind me. What's your advice, Melly? Melly's voice came from my computer. This signal from the pen wasn't great. Oh well, Tads wasn't aware. Yeah, so that's good. Macy wouldn't try to contact us on their behalf, right? That's right. She knows the protocol. What's the harm then? She's talking to low-ranking detectives who can't possibly make it to the 5th stage. Remember what she told us? There's no way to cheat. What if she's figured out a way? Then she would tell us. It's her job. Right, Melly? I'm backing you up here, Greg. Thank you, Melly. I don't know. This could compromise everything. Take it easy, Clark. Remember when you were young and you could take it easy? Not really. You can never say anything is easy in Australia. I should be doing an Australian accent. I'm not going to do an Australian accent because my Australian accent's shit. Actually, I think my Australian accent is shit and people would probably agree with me. But I didn't realise he should be Australian. We learned something new. I was going to try and, when I originally saw the character, I was going to try and do a Liverpool accent, but I couldn't think of how to do a Liverpool accent and have it work. Good point. Melly, is something else we need to discuss?
I may have to go soon, but continue.
Well, it's Detective Asper. He appears to be missing. I didn't realise that he was supposed to be Australian. I also just, like, that was my attempt at an Australian accent when I was doing that, and I can't do an Australian accent. I think I could do one, but I think it would be too subtle for people to notice. And it's also pretty similar to some of the English accents, really. And I think I would run the risk of going into Cockney. I think I'd run the risk of going straight from Australian into Cockney. Because they're not dissimilar. Certain parts of Australia to Cockney. Chapter 41. When I feel emotions, they are strong emotions. When do we think we end today, chat? I'm leaving it up to you. What chapter do we reckon we try to get to today? Because that was a short one. I was expecting that one to be a bit longer, that chapter. There was maybe like 4 lines. And then we switched. Like, give me a number that's not too far away. where we think it would be a good place to end. Because this might be a good time, actually. 41 might be a good number to end on. Because it has been 3 hours. Thinking emoji. Yeah, I think this is a good number. We've done 20 today. I think this is a good number. We've done 20 chapters today. We could do 45. It depends. How we feeling? We could do 40. We could end now, or we could end on 45. I think and what is the word I'm thinking of? Where it's in the times table of a factor of 5 would be a good one, I think. Yeah, I think I could go for longer, but I think, because I don't know what we're doing tomorrow, I think I will leave it here for tonight. Just so that I'm not dead voiced for tomorrow. I should be responsible. Right, who is streaming? You know what, let's raid Cammy. Let's raid Cammy. I haven't raided Cammy yet. I'm not tired yet, I just think I should save my voice for tomorrow, in case we end up doing this again tomorrow. Because that way I can keep doing the voices tomorrow. Because I don't actually know what's up. Okay, we're gonna go read Cammy. She's doing Phasmo. So, thank you everyone for coming in. I've been Pigeon Wishes, your resident Pigeon Fae from the UK. I will see you all tomorrow, possibly for more of this. If there's not a collab going on, I'll probably do more of this. Alright then. Have a good night, everyone. Tara!